Why joint ventures fail 70% of the time. It's not the money, it's the ego. Let's talk about the graveyard of business. It is littered with the corpses of joint ventures that should have made millions. You see the press releases, you see the happy photos, and then, silence. Statistically, about 40% of all joint ventures fail within the first 2 years. And most people will tell you it's about money. They'll say, oh, we ran out of capital, or the market shifted. I'm here to call that a lie. That is the polite excuse we give at dinner parties. The real reason 7 out of 10 joint ventures crash and burn is sitting right between your ears. It's the ego. Specifically, the collision of two egos that forgot the most important rule of partnership. And if you don't fix this before you sign that next deal, you are going to be joining that 70% statistic. Let's get into it. The harsh reality. Most entrepreneurs are egomaniacs. I don't mean that as an insult, I mean it as a fact. To start a business, you have to believe, irrationally, that your way is the right way. You have to be a control freak. That is your superpower when you are solo. The failure, one partner refuses to cede control over their specific domain. If you are the ops guy, and you keep micromanaging the marketing partner, because you think you know branding better, you are signaling that you don't trust them. And here is the kicker, if you don't trust them, why did you partner with them? The silent killer. We usually go into a JV because partner A has the product, and partner B has the list or the access. We treat this like a transaction. You bring the emails, I bring the factory. The ego says, I just need your audience. Just send the email, stay out of my way, and collect your check. This is where the 70% failure rate germinates. Because partner B, the one with the audience, isn't a vending machine. They are a human being with a reputation. When you treat them like a distribution pipeline, they feel undervalued. So, what happens? They don't promote as hard. They don't attach their full weight to the project. They give it a soft launch, the numbers suck, and the ego on partner A explodes. See? Your list was trash anyway. The fix? Stop looking at the asset and start looking at the human. If they have the audience, they have the voice. Let them shape the messaging. The product is only 50% of the success. Now, let's talk about the money. Not the lack of it, the structure of it. The biggest ego-driven mistake you can make is a strict 50-50 split with no boundaries. When you set a rigid, static equity split, you are basically saying, I care more about my fair share than the success of the project. You don't split the pie from day one. You say, partner A, you get paid back for your costs first. Partner B, you get a 20% management fee for running the show. And then, only after we hit a certain profit threshold, do we split the excess 50/50ths. Aligning the split to actual performance kills the ego. You get paid based on what you do, not what you demand. The final nail in the coffin. The no prenup. Egos hate talking about breakups. Entrepreneurs are optimistic. They think, if I bring up the exit strategy now, it means I don't believe in the project. False. Not having an exit strategy means you believe in magic. When a JV succeeds, ego gets jealous. When a JV fails, ego gets defensive. You need to agree on the divorce clause before the ink dries. 1. The buy-sell. If I want out, you have the right to buy my share at a pre-agreed valuation formula. This prevents hostage-taking. 2. The keys clause. Who owns the customer data at the end? You cannot leave this ambiguous. If you don't own the data, you just built a business for someone else's email list. 3. The non-compete. How long until we can compete directly against each other again? If you can't sit down and have that awkward, brutal conversation about how you will end this partnership, then you are not mature enough to start it. The success mindset. So, 70% fail. How do you get into the top 30%? It's actually simple, although it's the hardest thing you'll ever do as an owner. Check your ego at the door. The top 30% of JVs look like this. Complementary, not competitive, you don't need to do what they do. You need to do your thing better than anyone and let them do theirs. Delegated authority. You give the partner 100% control over their domain without peeking over their shoulder. 0. I told you so. If it fails, you eat the loss together. If you point fingers, you are proving you were never a team to begin with. A joint venture is not a growth hack. It is a business marriage. And like any marriage, the divorce rate is high, because people marry for the money, but they leave because of the ego. Stop looking for a partner who has what you want. Start looking for a partner who has what you lack. And then, give them the respect and the control to use it.